want to talk about nationals and citizenships of the United States at birth. Okay, I want to talk about this for a minute. Most of us don't know that we're actually born nationals at birth. You know, this is basically talking about, like, see, when you first born, you know, of course, because you was born on the landmass of the United States of America, you know, you turn into a United States, you know, citizen of the United States when you're first born. Okay, but you also a national before you got, when you're first born too. So it's just, the thing is, it's like, I'm just gonna read this. I'm gonna let you interpret it for yourself, so you can see when I don't want to use my commentator. You know, a lot of people like to use a bunch of word salad instead of just reading what the damn law says. A person born in the United States. Well, let me pause so we can get some clarity on what they mean by the United States. The term United States, except as otherwise specifically herein provided, when used in a geographical sense, let's talk about land right there, means the continental United States. They're talking about landmass. Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands of the United States, and Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. That's what they mean when they talk about the United States in this title. In this title, in Title 8. That's what they mean by the United States. Okay? Matter of fact, let me see. They don't even have they got that taken out of there. But anyway, you already see I just clicked on it anyway, so. But get back over there, boy. Well, here we go. And nationals, we see that's a person who's owing a permanent allegiance to a state. Okay? To a state. I would like to look up state. Let me pause for a second and look at because I was looking for state on here too in the instructions. In the definitions, but I saw state with a capital letter, and I don't, with a capital S, and it didn't sit well with what I was looking for, like as far as definitions. Here we go. Let me see if I can find it. This is Title 8 still. We're still Title 8. Let me see if I can find. What was it was state that I was looking for. Let me see if I can find it. This is a long ass list, y'all. I was up last night. I don't know what the hell was on this. I was up. I couldn't go to damn sleep. So I just started reading, started studying. And by the time I got done studying, I was too tired to study more. I couldn't make a video, so I rolled my ass over and went to sleep. Okay, and thought I'd just make this video today. See if I could find state in here. Could have sworn I saw state in here. As national, personal, one person. There we go, state. See, they got a capital letter on there. But you see that's a small letter there. So, okay, so obviously, 1101A36. This is it. It says this 8 USC subsection 1101A36, which is where I just clicked this from. Hold on, 36. There it is, state. The term state, see? They use them synonymously. They use them both the same. See? The term state includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands of the United States, and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. That's what they mean by state. But you notice there's a capital letter right there. That's a capital S, as opposed to the small s that we saw in the other one. Let's back up. When it was defining national. I wonder why they did that. You know they like to confuse us on purpose. They don't tell us why they do that shit. Back up. Where is it? National. Here it is. Or it means a person or in permanent allegiance to a state. Matter of fact, let's back up and look up these other words. Person means an individual or an organization. You're going to find out an organization is also a trust. I saw that as well. I'll show that to you in a minute. So it goes a little deep. Oh, impermanent. Permanent. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. It kind of touched him the wrong way, and it says permanent allegiance. So he was kind of like, what you mean by permanent? That word permanent did something to me. So as you see, it says it means a relationship of continuing or lasting nature, as distinguished from temporary. But a relationship may be permanent, even though it is one that may be dissolved eventually at the instance either of the United States or of the individual, in accordance with the law. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's undoable. It don't mean that you're stuck because it says permanent. It's just like when you move somewhere, you move into a house or apartment somewhere, and you're going to be living there a couple of years. That's your permanent residence for right then. But it's subject to change when you change your lease, or you move out of that house, sell that house, and move somewhere else. Then wherever you move at, and that's where you're going to be for a while, that's your permanent residence at that time once you move. Okay, so that's what they mean by this. So that's clear right there. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't change your status once you claim to be a national. Okay, so it basically at your leisure. You change it when you feel like changing it. Okay, permanent allegiance to a state. And this, as you see, this small letter, they gave us the capital letter as definition for the small letter one. So I suppose they're trying to say one and the same, I guess, say for instance, you're talking about, like, I'm here in Georgia. If I'm saying I'm a national of Georgia Republic, Georgia is a state, and you would spell that with a capital G, lowercase the rest of the letters. So, hey, it sounds like it makes sense to me. But anyway, where was I at? I think I want to show y'all that part with the state. What else I want to show you? I want to go back to, Okay, now, so we examine these words right here. A person born in the United States, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. A person born, all these people are nationals. It say shall be nationals and citizens of the United States at birth. That's when you're first born. This is your status when you're first born on this land. Okay, the person born in the United States to the member of an Eskimo, Indian Eskimo, Aleutian, or other Aboriginal tribe, provided that the granting of citizenship under this subsection shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of such person to travel to tribal or other property. C. Person born outside of the United States and its underlying possessions of parents both parents both of whom are citizens of the United States, and one of whom has had a residence in the United States or one of their outlying possessions prior to the birth of such person. Now let's look at residence. So you know what that means. So it means a place of general abode. Okay, the place of general abode of a person means his principal, actual dwelling place, in fact, without regard to intent. Okay, I think that's clearly explained right there. Okay, a person born outside of the United States and its outlying possessions of parents, one of whom is a citizen of the United States, who has been physically present in the United States or one of its outlying possessions for a continuous period of 1 year prior to the birth of such person, and the other of whom is a national but not a citizen of the United States. So one can be one and one cannot be one, and it's still that's the default status of the person that's born there. So a person born in an outlying possession of the United States of parents of whom is a citizen of the United States who has been physically present in the United States or one of its outlying possessions for a continuous period of 1 year at a time prior to the birth of such person. Okay, a person of unknown parentage. I remember seeing that before. Found in the United States while under the age of 5 years until shown prior to his to this attaining age of 21 years, not to have been born in the United States. Okay, you say, I don't know who the parents are. I used to get confused with this before, back in the, when they used to call them a foundling and stuff, but we'll get on that we'll talk about that different. That's a different video. G, how many we got? It stops at H. G, a person born outside the geographical limits of the United States and its outlying possessions of parents of whom is an alien. An alien means any person not a citizen or national of the United States. And it was somebody was born from another country altogether. Okay. A person born outside the geographical limits of the United States and its outlying possessions of parents, one whom is an alien, and the other a citizen of the United States, who prior to the birth of such person was physically present in the United States, or its outlying possessions for a period or periods totaling not less than 5 years. At least 2 of which were after attaining the age of 14 years, provided that any period of honorable service in the armed forces of the United States, or periods of employment with the United States government. Make sure they still using the same definition. Okay. Or with an international organization. I'm gonna click on that in a minute. Yeah, I said I was gonna show y'all what that means. Remember, I said it also includes a trust. Bam. Means but not limited to an organization, corporation, company, partnership, association, trust, foundation, or fund, and includes a group of persons, whether or not incorporated, permanently or temporarily associated together with joint action on any subject or subjects. Okay, so you see what the organization is, as that, let's see, provided that any periods of honorable service in the armed forces of the United States, or periods of employment with the United States government, or with an international organization that as that term is defined in section 288 of Title 22, by such citizen parent, or any persons during such citizen parent is physically present abroad as a dependent unmarried son or daughter, and a member of the household of a person A, honorably serving the armed forces of the United States, or B, employed by the United States government or an international organization as defined in section 8822. May be included in order to satisfy the physical requirements of this paragraph. Say this proviso, I don't know if that's a typo or not. This proviso anyway shall be applicable to persons born on or after December 24, 1952. To the same extent of that if it had become effective in its present form on that date. Let me click on section 88. International organization defined. Authority of the president. Say for the purpose of the subject of the terms. International organization means a public international organization in which the United States participates pursuant to any treaty or under the authority of any act of Congress authorizing such participation, or making an appropriation for such participation, and which shall have been designated by the president through appropriate executive order as being entitled to enjoy privileges, exemptions, and immunities provided in this chapter. Okay. I was trying to see what the hell I meant by that. Okay. H. This is the last part where basically say the following shall be nationals and citizens of the United States at birth. Okay. A person born before noon Eastern Standard Time, May 24th, 1934, outside the limits of the jurisdiction of the United States, of an alien father and mother who is a citizen of the United States prior to the birth of such person, had residence in the United States. Okay, so basically, there's most of us. If you were born on this land right here, technically you are a national and a damn. That's basically what your status is from the start. A lot of us, we got so used to saying we're U.S. citizens. U.S. citizen, I think. Let me see. U.S. citizen. Oh shit. You see, it's a totally different title right here. Okay, this is title 42. United States citizen means any individual who is a citizen of the United States by law, birth, or naturalization. Any federal, state, or local government in the United States, or any entity of any such government, or any corporation, partnership, association, or any or other entity organized or existing under the laws of the United States or of any state, say which has as its president or other which has as its president or other executive officer and as its chairman of the board of directors. See, these are companies. Presidents, executive officers, chairman of the board of directors, or holder of similar office, an individual who is a United States citizen, and which has no more of its directors who are not citizens, United States citizens, than constitute the majority of the number required for a quorum necessary to conduct a business of the board. Keep in mind, it's all business. Okay, that's what U.S. citizens are. This is all business that they just described for this particular meaning, and it's in Title 42 USC 9102. Then you got the /18, as you see right here, 18. This is a totally different. Trying to see. Here we go. Totally different title right here. It's not Title 8. So it always depends on what title you're in. It gives you different definitions of what they mean by these things. This is talking about. You just saw right there what it meant. This is the definition of a U.S. citizen as opposed to Title 8 when it says citizen of the United States. Here we go. Get on back up there. Oh, shoot. Where was I? Yeah, here we go. Yes. Citizens of the United States at birth. They defined it differently in Title 8 as opposed to Title 42. Everything they just talked about. Partnership, corporation, say mean any individual who is a citizen of the United States by law, birth, or naturalization by. And then it says any federal state. Then it says any corporation. See? As a matter of fact, let's just skip A and B real quick and just connect. United States means any corporation, partnership, or association or other entity organized or existing under the laws of the United States or any other state, or of any state, which has as its president or other executive officer and as its chairman of the board of directors or holders of similar offices. You know what I'm saying? An individual who is a United States citizen and has no more of its and which has no more of its directors who are not citizens, who are not United States citizens, then constitute a majority of the number required for a quorum necessary to conduct the business of the board. This is all business right here described. As a U.S. citizen, you are a part of a business if you claim to be a U.S. citizen. A United States citizen, by definition, according to Title 42. That's what you're saying that you are. This is why everybody's trying to be a national. Because you just want to be a part of the state. You just want to be a part of the land. You know what I'm saying? The land itself. Because it's kind of, I understand why people run from U.S. citizen, because they don't know what they mean when they say this. And they use this wordplay to confuse people all the damn time. But that's why I always encourage y'all to just look in the title and see what they mean by that. Here we go in Title 42. See how they just define state differently right here? See what I'm saying? This is a different definition. This is a different definition from Title 8. This is 42 USC 9102. Now let me go back to definitions in Title 8. State. See, this is the definition for state in Title 8. Okay, this is the definition of state in Title 42. Means in the several states, the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, American Samoa, the United States Virgin Islands, Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas, and any other Commonwealth territory or possessions over which the United States has jurisdiction. And we can't even. And now you can look at the United States as the boogeyman when you're talking about a corporation here in Title 42, because that's where this. That's where I found this at. It's in Title 42. So it's just that I just want to kind of put emphasis on it. When you're doing research, you got to always look at these titles, understand what the hell they mean. Click on that crap. Click on the definition to know what is it saying. Because it's very vital in getting clarity and understanding when you actually reading this stuff. Okay, so this is Title 42 as opposed to Title 8. So anyway, I was going to yes, I also wanted to share something else. It's concerning nationality. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I thought it was pretty interesting. Where is it? Let me go in my text, because I was sharing this with somebody else last night too. Go to my text messages. I was just screenshotting. I said, I'm gonna mess around and wake that dude up. He gonna be like, man, you don't take your ass to sleep. Let's see, foreign state. Let's see if I can find that. Because I started reading these codes in the beginning was at uscode.house.gov is what it's called. Let me see. That's where I originally found all this at. But then I started reading up on this the nationality part of it. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. Let me see. Give me a hot second, y'all. Work with me. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, here we go. 1841. 1841. I guess that don't work for me. I guess I can type it from scratch. Let me just do this here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, a person who's a national of the United States. Remember, we read this already. It's a citizen of the United States. Or see now we can't. We got to look at this as a geographical standpoint because of the fact that we're still in Title 8. Okay, we're still in Title 8. See, Title 8. So we know when they're using United States, we're talking about geographical. We're talking about the land. Okay, a national of the United States, whether by birth or naturalization, shall lose his nationality by voluntarily performing any of the following acts with the intention of relinquishing the United States nationality. See, when I first read this in the beginning years ago, I was thinking it was talking about the corporation. You know what I'm saying? Losing the corporate status, the straw man, being seen as a, how can I say it? Being seen as a corporate fiction. I never want to ever be seen as a corporate fiction. So this is what I thought I was reading when I first read this years ago. So I called myself was trying to see, I'm looking into trying to make a declaration of some sort. Well, like renouncing U.S. citizenship, but I made it clear even in the declaration I was talking about corporate fiction. So, if I called myself trying to type up something. I don't know what I did with it, but bottom line is that was my understanding back then. But now I understand when you click on these things, you have to understand now that I understand, you got to click on all of them so you can understand in each title what they mean by these things. Right here they talk about you just denouncing altogether your allegiance to the land itself. You know what I'm saying? Most people act like they don't even want to claim the land they live on. I'm like, you live here. What the hell are you talking about? I bet you they'll be talking about, I'm in America now. They'll be doing that if they was in what's that girl's name, who the basketball player who got caught with them drugs. I bet you she was ready. I bet she wanted. That's one time she wanted to give up some pussy. Let me stop. I was talking one time she wanted to get with Biden, see if she can get somebody to get her back at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, nowhere in the world I'd be over there locked up in jail and then wishing I can't get away, wishing I can get free and want to get back to my country. And then, like we quick to want to scream like, oh, I'm from Africa. I ain't from no damn Africa. I'm from America. I'm a United States of America. That's the landmass I claim because that's where I was born and raised. And I'm not trying to claim no other country because I have never been there. I don't live there. That's not where I'm from. This is where I was raised. So I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I'm not a part of it. It makes no sense for us to speak and talk like that when we won't leave. We don't want to leave. You ain't going to go nowhere. Then why are you not going to claim where you from? Why do we, but anyway, I ain't going to rant on that. But that was my understanding on this here when I first read this, But see right here is like, this is the way you can do it. These are the 4 ways, 5 ways, 6, 7 ways you can actually do it. Okay? Where you can relinquish United States nationality. You know what I'm saying? See, when they talking nationality, I'm not going to go. Here we go. Obtaining nationalization in a foreign state. It's an underlying possession of a foreign state, but self-governing dominions of territories under the mandate or trusteeship shall be regarded as a separate foreign state. Okay? So, that sounds to me like this is how this sounds to me. This is just me. I could be wrong on this part. This is just my opinion. By definition of a foreign state, if I'm operating as the trustee for my own living trust that I created, which is totally out of the jurisdiction of the United States. It's a different jurisdiction. It will be considered by definition a foreign state. So this is how I see that based on this definition. It says the term foreign state includes outlying possessions of a foreign state, but self-governing dominions or territories under mandate or trusteeship shall be regarded as a separate foreign states. So It's a different jurisdiction that you create when you create your own living trust. And you make your straw man the trustee for that trust. It's a different state. It's a foreign state. That's where it's private. That's what separates you from the other entities, because that's your entity. You're self-governing. That's why they speak about self-governing on there, but self-governing dominions. So I just thought I'd kind of throw that out there. Obtaining naturalization in a foreign state upon its own application, or upon an application filed by a duly authorized agent, and say upon its own application, or I did that on my own. You can create your own stuff. Or upon an application filed by a duly authorized agent after having attained the age of 18 years. Or taking an oath or making an affirmation or other formal declaration of allegiance to a foreign state or a political subdivision thereof after having attained the age of 18 years. Or entering or serving in the armed forces of a foreign state of armed forces, if such armed forces are engaged in hostilities against the United States, or such persons serve as a commissioned or non-commissioned officer. Or number 4, accepting, serving in, or performing in the duties of any office, post, or employment under the government of a foreign state or political subdivision thereof after attaining the age of 18 years, as if he has or acquires the nationality of such foreign state, or accepting, serving in, or performing the duties of any office, post, employment under the government of a foreign state or a political subdivision thereof after attaining the age of 18 years, for which office, post, or employment in oath, affirmation, or declaration of allegiance is required. Or number 5, it says making a formal renunciation of nationality before a diplomatic or consular officer of the United States in a foreign state. Okay, you can do that in another country in front of one of those offices of the United. They got those offices in other countries too, in such form as may be required. May be prescribed by the Secretary of State, or making in the United States a formal written renunciation of nationality in such form as may be prescribed by, and therefore such officer as may be designated by the Attorney General, whenever the United States shall be in a state of war, and the Attorney General shall approve such renunciation as not contrary to the interests of the national defense, or committing any act of treason against, or attempting to by force to overthrow or bearing arms against the United States, violating or conspiring to violate any of the provisions of Section 2383 of Title 18, or willfully performing any act in violation of 2385 of Title 18, or violating Section 2384 of Title 18 by engaging in a conspiracy to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, if and when he is convicted thereof by a court martial or by a court of competent jurisdiction. So these are the ways you lose your nationality. Now B says, B says, whenever loss of the United States nationality is put in issue in any action, or proceeding commence on or after September 26, 1961, under or by virtue of the provisions of this chapter or any other act, the burden shall be upon the person or party claiming that such loss occurred to establish such claim by a preponderance of evidence. Any person who commits or performs, or who has committed or performed any act of expatriation under the provisions of this chapter or any other act shall be presumed to have done so voluntarily. But such presumption may be rebutted by a showing, upon a showing by a preponderance of evidence that the act or acts committed or performed were not done voluntarily. Okay, so it's up, so I understand this a hell of a lot clearer now that I click on these terms to understand what it means. If you're not claiming this land, you don't claim to be an American, you don't want to be, seen as a citizen here, then you can, when I say citizen, a national, whatever, according to these definitions, then you can always expatriate yourself, by voluntarily. But this is an easy way to get your ass sent to where you at, to the area where you claim though. But anyway, I just thought I wanted to read that part because I wanted pretty much it's just kind of show, pretty much to kind of point out the importance of reading these definitions. So I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but and I think this video is probably long enough, too damn long. I don't never make these long videos, but I'm gonna stop right there. Because I can keep on reading this stuff. This stuff is kind of intriguing. But if you haven't created your trust, man, you still need to be creating a trust, and y'all need to. I think I'm gonna make a part 3 about that 2848 form. When it comes to your power of attorney, got to get one of them things in place, y'all. That stuff is very powerful. Those documents are extremely powerful. These people are controlling you in these courtrooms using these powerful attorneys too. Y'all might want to look into that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here and we'll talk to y'all in the next video. M. Roast signing out.